Hey YouTube, welcome back to Dwayne's World. So as we all know, StripeAction really brings our lawn to the next level. Well, I got some StripeAction going on in my lawn that you're definitely not going to want to miss. You want to find out what that is? You better stay tuned. All right, so welcome back to season 3, episode 6 here on Dwayne's World. And I gotta tell you guys, I am not that happy about putting together this episode. That's right. You ever have those days? Well, I've had that day. But before I get into what this video is actually about, but first, let me show you guys a picture. When you come back, we'll talk about it. All right, I know. I apologize to all those sensitive viewers out there. That was hard to watch, and I've already seen it. So what do? You know, after you actually come back from being unconscious, after seeing something like that, when you wake up, you think to yourself, I need to figure out what the hell happened. So, you know, I did what most people would probably do. Maybe get onto the Google machine, figure out what happened. So what I came up with, and if you guys have watched my videos, I've never done a video on this, but you guys know, based on some of the camera shots, that I have cameras all over my house. And I figured, you know what? Let me set up one of these cameras to be able to capture what happened in the moment and be able to put a stop to whatever's happening. And I gotta tell you, not on day 1, not on day 2, but it was day 3. We got some answers. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look. right, so as you guys saw there, Dwayne's World had to lay down some law and order. That's right. But I gotta tell you, it did surprise me when I figured out what was going on. Initially, I thought they were birds, but what really confused me was how big the hole was and where the ground was being ripped up. First, I thought maybe I had moles, possibly gophers, which would have been a completely different problem in itself. And in fact, I'm happy that it truly was a skunk. But the one thing that's also confusing is the fact that I live in a fairly developed area. I don't have fields behind me, just pretty much surrounded by tract homes. And, the neighborhood has been developed for quite a few years. So it's generally pretty uncommon to see skunks in my area. But it doesn't mean they don't exist, as my lawn has proven. Whenever you have one of these critters, people think sometimes the best course of action is to get rid of the critter. And I get it, and there's gonna be some cases that are like that, where you do need to do that.
You're gonna pay for this. Yes, you are.
But what you also have to remember is a lot of times what actually brought that critter to your area and why they found your area so desirable, or your lawn in this case, is because of the food source that they've been actually seeking out and looking for. And when it comes to skunks, they absolutely love grubs, armyworms, earthworms. I didn't think I necessarily had a grub problem, but you never know. The one thing I will say is I did not throw down any insecticide so far this year. I know that sounds crazy. With all the things I had going on, kind of figured, you know what? Let me just kind of play it by ear and let it go, and we'll see what happens. And I haven't had any issues this year, to be honest with you. But one of the things I was planning on doing is I was planning on putting together an insecticide video, because we are coming up on that time of year. So I kind of figured, let me use this as an opportunity, because if there's ever a time I need to throw down insecticide, now is the time. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and move on with the video and show you guys how I took care of this problem. All right, guys, so it's the morning after that skunk did his dirty work. But I haven't even seen what it looks like, so all of us together are gonna see what damage this skunk did. Oh my goodness. Take a look at that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. There's the famous bowling ball. It's the camera to capture what was going on. But I think what I'm gonna do, so my plan right now is I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys the lawn here. All right, not too bad, not too bad. Now I did get a mow in last night, late yesterday that is, right before the sun went down, and right before our friend paid us a special visit. So again, looks pretty good. Color's on point, very happy. 3/4 inch height of cut. All right guys, so even though those stripes are not necessarily my best stripes, but they're definitely stripes, and they're stripes that I want in my lawn. You know what type of stripes I do not want anywhere near my lawn? This kind right here. That's right. Skunk stripes, they gotta go. StripeAction, laying down those stripes, that's where it's at. All right guys, so let me show you guys what I'll be using today to take care of this skunk problem, because there is a way to fix the situation. It's gonna be good for me, and believe it or not, probably good for the skunk as well. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look. All right, guys, so you're probably wondering, Dwayne, why are you edging right now? I thought this was about taking care of that skunk. Yeah, I know. But what happened was last night when I got in my mow, I ran out of daylight and I couldn't finish up some of that trim work. I figured I'd break out the Ego Edger, and it's been a while since you guys have seen my rotary scissors. So I thought I'd go ahead and put it on this video. So I hope you guys enjoy it, because that's actually one of my most popular videos on my channel when it comes to both the installation and a review of my rotary scissors. And I want to thank all you guys, because you're the ones that make it happen. All right, guys, so this will be using today, this is Sevin insect killer. You can pick this up at most big box retailers. Now, this is designed to be able to take care of grubs. Because of the fact that the skunk is coming into my lawn, it obviously is attracted by something. And a lot of times those things could be earthworms, it could be grubs, it could be armyworms, it could be a whole host of different insects, and the product is rated to be able to take care of all of those things. Since this bag is 25 pounds, I'm gonna use the whole thing. Just because of the fact that, again, the rate is 4 pounds per thousand. I got about 7,000 square feet. It could be close to 4 pounds per thousand. All right, so all filled up. Let's go ahead and throw it down. All right, guys, so most importantly, anytime you're throwing down any insecticide that's granular, you absolutely want to make sure you're watering it in. Now, one of the reasons why I'm actually showing you guys my sprinklers here is because, all right, guys, so one of the main reasons why I showed you guys my sprinklers there, and I actually have shown my sprinklers previously, not in depth, but just highlighted my sprinklers here on Dwayne's World. On my next episode here on Dwayne's World, I'm going to be doing an upgrade to my sprinkler system, which I'm very, very excited about. You know, after I go ahead and take care of that video and do that upgrade, I'll talk to you guys in a future video on how I figured out how long I need to run each of my sprinklers based on my setup. Now, if you like this video, please make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? I can definitely use all the subscribers I can to make sure I continue to feature a lot of great content here on Dwayne's World. All right, guys, so I got to tell you, it's probably been about 3 or 4 days since that skunk had done that damage to my yard. But I gotta say, the insecticide that I threw down must have been very, very effective, because I have not seen that skunk since. You know, I talked about this earlier in the video. Sometimes you have to get rid of the critter, but a lot of times, if you eliminate what's bringing them into your yard, such as their food supply, that can work just as effectively, like it did in my case. So, maybe that skunk is off to another yard, doing some damage on somebody else's property, but at least he won't be visiting Dwayne's World anytime soon. You know, until the next episode on Dwayne's World, remember, be excellent and party on.